Hello guys, Cyril Andelot here. Day 1 of Chaos Zero Nightmare. What has changed from release and what has not changed? Well, a thing that has not changed is that if your game is in full screen and you try to record some footage from it, more often than not, the video component of your footage is going to get corrupted and be a still frame image. So, currently I've been talking while playing the game for more than 5 hours, and all the footage that I had got corrupted. So if you're a fellow content creator or you enjoy making videos to record the gameplay that you make, be warned, play in window mode and record the window and it's going to be much safer. So, RIP my last 5 hours of content. If my tongue gets a few strokes and aneurysm while I talk, please, I apologize in advance, but I'm really tired about talking for the whole day and all of that content is gone forever, like tears in the rain, it's time to die. Fuck my life. Regardless of that, what has changed from the playtest? One very important thing has changed, and it deserves to be talked about. I have a speedrun video on my channel where I make from the moment you start the game until the beginner banner in 18 minutes. Meaning that during the playtest in 18 minutes you could see which character you will get from beginner banner and decide whether you wanted to keep that account or reroll it and try to get some other character you like them more. Problem is, at release, when you get to the rescue system and the beginner banner, when you open your rewards, you do not have enough to reach 50 pools. For me, it was 25. Later during the day, we got some extra pools via mail, as an apology for the server issues, but I did not even have, so I cannot complain about it. But still, it's going to be around 30 pools for the beginner banner, meaning you cannot reach PT in those 20 minutes or so of gameplay. In order to reach PT, you need to run simulation battles to, level up your characters and unlock things, do Arc City activities and other things so that you can level up your captain level, which will allow you to unlock other things, and then you will get enough pools to hit PT of the beginner banner. Doing that took me a bit over 40 minutes. At 40 minutes around, would I reroll the account? No, unless it was like a truly desperate situation, I would not reroll my account. What happened to my account is that from the beginner banner I got Calipe, and on my first 10 pool I got Haru. In addition to Selena, as one of the few 4 stars that I got. So I got my favorite 4 star, I got the limited 5 star that I wanted, and I got one of my favorite 5 stars. Not my favorite, because I do not have Magna. How is it possible I didn't get Magna at release, and I got 2 copies of her during the playtest? Developer, they did it on purpose. They wanted me to swipe for the beginner banner, but it's not going to happen. Let's talk a little bit about characters. I have the feeling that Selena got a buff, but I cannot prove it yet. She just feels way better performing compared to the limited playtest. Someone who does not perform as well is Calipe. There have been a little bit of doom posting, but the reason is that Calipe during the playtest was completely bonkers. She did not feel like a character of Chaos Zero Nightmare. She was completely unbalanced. She was one of the best damage dealers and one of the best sustains, all in one single character who could essentially solo the whole game. She made no sense. Now, it so happens that the developers use the playtest to balance things out. So, the character that was absolutely unbalanced was balanced a little bit, in the forms of a few nerfs. She's fine, she's a good character, very solid. She's no longer absolutely retarded. So, were you planning to pull for Calipe so that you could AFK your game and make it through the end game in a few days? Okay, you cannot do it, go to play something else. Do you like Calipe and you want a strong character, and you got her from the beginner banner? She's great. So if you type on Google how is Calipe and you find some people doom posting about her, ignore, move on and enjoy your character. She's fantastic. Talking a little bit about Haru, who is our first limited character, she's a phenomenal damage dealer. She's specialized in single target damage dealer, damage dealing, but she can also do solid AoE damage. So, you know, if you're fighting a boss that has some random garbo around it, she's going to be excellent. The way her kit works is mostly focused around anchor shot, because the more you play it, the stronger it gets, up to 5 times. Plus, she has Anchor Pointer that allows you to automatically draw Anchor Shot, and one of the upgrades for Anchor Pointer is that when you play Anchor Shot, you draw it back immediately. And she has Charge Energy that for one turn, you get an extra 30% attack care damage. You may be thinking, Sir Grindalot, that's a lot of action points. It's like, chew, you draw it again, chew, and you would like to start the turn by using a card that costs 1. Well, it just so happens that one of the 4-star supports that we get for free when we start the game gives us some extra action points. With Mika and your team, it's very easy to have turns where you can play 4 or 5 action points worth of cards. And it's a perfect combination for Haru, who is very action point hungry. The third character can be pretty much anyone. It can be Amir if you want some shields, it can be Beryl. In my case, it's going to be Cassius after I play him, after I build him, or where is Selena? Selena if I want some extra damage. So the third character can be extremely flexible, but she's a very, very good damage dealer, which is expected for the first limited character. You need to keep in mind that her being our first limited character means that she's going to be the first character to be power crept. Now, she's mostly a single target damage dealer, mostly. Does it mean that the next damage dealer that we get is going to be an even better single target damage dealer? Probably not. The next damage dealer is more likely going to be an AoE damage dealer or an agonist damage dealer. Agony is the damage over time effect in this game. Maybe she's not going to be directly power crept. It's likely that the incoming damage dealers are going to be different kinds of damage dealers, so she's not going to be directly power crept. But don't think, oh, I'm going to get Haru, the first limited character who is a damage dealer, and she's not going to be power crept for 5 years. It's not going to happen. It's a gacha game. Everyone is going to be power crept eventually. But with that said, she's a lovely character, she's very strong. If you want to get her, absolutely safe pool and absolutely recommended from yours truly. What can you expect from day one in terms of game progression? If you use some of the components that are used to refill your energy, you're going to make it past level 20, possibly to 25, depending on how many you use. If you swipe, spamming simulation battles, weekly boss fights and all the sort of stuff, you can probably make it to 30. Would I recommend make it to 30? Probably not on day one. You will have a lot to do anyway. If, like me, you have done the playtest and you skip all the dialogue, you're going to have 4 to 5 hours worth of content. Then you can do as many Chaos Manifestation runs as you want. Chaos Manifestation is the endgame content that we can rerun as many times as we want, and every time that we make a run, there is still a chance that we're getting some improvements for our characters, which is an amazing game design idea. Props to the devs for that. After that, you wait. The following day you are going to unlock level 30 or thereabouts without having to worry about swiping or using the energy currency for that. It's a lot of content for day one, really, really a lot. Especially if you want to follow the story, read what's going on, learn about the characters and all the side stories and side missions, it's probably 8 hours, if not more, worth of content. So really, take it slow, take your time, build your favorite characters, and be happy about it. Overall feedback for the game, it's pretty much the same that I said in regards to the playtest. During the last few years, there have been a few games that gave me the feeling that the developers first had the idea about the game and wanted to make it as good as they could and then monetize it. And then there are some games that give me the idea that the developers wanted to make money using a gacha game system, and then they developed things around that. This kind of game reminds me of the former, meaning that they had this idea about a slightly grim game set in a world that is not particularly wholesome in terms of lore and all the sort of things. They had some unique ideas in terms of gameplay and gameplay loop, and they wanted to make it a turn-based card game with a unique visual design. It reminds me of Guardian Tales. It's not a card game, but, you know, the overall concept reminds me of Guardian Tales, and it reminds me of Reverse 1999. Both Guardian Tales and R1999 are games that are very unique in their own niche, for the way they look, the way they play. In terms of Reverse 99, I would say mostly in terms of design and lore. And the developers are making money for that. They had a unique idea. And Chaos Zero Nightmare is that kind of game. In terms of gameplay, if you go stage by stage, it's not game-breaking. It's a fun card game, turn-based card game, with a lot of interesting mechanics. The most unique things, in my opinion, is the Chaos Manifestation system that we can play as many times as we want over the course of the day. And it's always fun because it's a roguelike game mode. And it also improves our characters. So I'm going to reward the developers. This account is currently free to play, but it's not going to last. I'm going to get the battle pass as well as the little daily rewards as soon as I log off and I get on the game from my phone, so that I can use the Play account rewards to get my stuff. And then maybe I will start on a separate server, a free-to-play account, just so that 6 months from now, 1 year from now, we will be able to properly compare the two in terms of game progression and game difficulty. But as I said for the playtest, this game is 100% recommended from yours truly. It's a lovely game. The designers, the developers put a lot of effort into it. And when you play it and you go through the dialogues and you explore the world and you learn about the role, the lore of the world, you can tell that they had an idea, a very cohesive idea about the game. And the gacha system is just a way to monetize it. But they had an idea, and it's something that I wholeheartedly approve. If you have any question, leave it in the comment. I'm really hoping this video will come out to be fairly cohesive from a mental point of view, because I've been talking for close to 6 hours now, and all my previous 5 hours of content have to be deleted because there is no video footage, and it's a huge bummer for me, and I will need to open multiple containers of alcohol to cope with what's just happened. Lovely game though, although it corrupted my first 5 hours of footage and I didn't get Magna. Lovely game. Bye guys, take care.